Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Biki with the Untitled Game Show, back once again with another review. And for you guys today, it's not of a video game, it's of a humongous, heavy, big old book. Actually, it's a manga, and what is a manga of? Well, it is the Death Note. Read it and read right there, guys. It's an all-in-one special edition version of Death Note, and we're going to be taking a look at this right now. Now, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, if you saw that really bad adaptation of the Netflix movie version of Death Note, you might need a cleanser, and you might need something to clean your palate, and you might go ahead and watch the anime series of Death Note on Netflix or any other website out there. But have you ever thought about picking up the actual manga itself and see what might be difference between the manga, the movie, and, well, the anime itself? Well, it's about time you pick up this manga because it's well worth it. As somebody who has loved the Death Note anime, in fact, it's my second favorite anime, only behind Full Metal Alchemist, and I'm a big Full Metal fan, so that's the only reason why. This did it for me, guys. This basically pushed Death Note to the #1 spot. I love this. Now let's talk about it first of all. If you read Death Note before in the past, the manga, what this actually features for you, there's actually a bonus chapter that has never been released in the United States before. So if you're somebody who actually owns all the individual chapters for the Death Note manga, this actually is something a little special for you. Is it worth the $35 price right now that this is being currently sold on Amazon at a discount? Well, I'm not sure if it's worth $35 just for that extra chapter, because the extra chapter is not really all that special. It's very interesting, but it doesn't elevate the story to such a higher echelons that you need to read that extra chapter. But as a big Death Note fans, we probably want to consume as much Death Note media as possible. So for the hardcore fans out there, I'm going to say yes. Even if you watch the anime, watch a bunch of the Japanese movie, watch the pretty bad Netflix movie, I'm still going to say it's good for you to pick up and read that extra chapter because it adds a little bit to the story. Now, for the people out there who have only watched the anime before, I think you really do need to read the manga. The manga adds a little more details and make the ending part of the story a little bit more clearer. And I know some people have problems with the near chapter of Death Note, and this actually helped explain a little bit more about how he came to his conclusion at the end of the show. Not going to spoil it. Now, for anybody out there who's watching this and somehow has never watched Death Note, it's a very simple concept, right, guys? A book is fell into the earth, right? And a young guy picks it up, and this guy is very smart and very intelligent, and soon he finds out that when you write somebody's name in this book, they will die. And throughout his course of working with the book, he sees that it has its consequences, and things kind of get really crazy. And I actually don't want to spoil Death Note. I want somebody who has never watched Death Note before to see this, pick this up, and experience it for their first time. I don't want to give away the main character's name or none of that. For the long-line players out there who watch all the Death Note media, read the manga, you guys know what it's about. But if you're watching it for the first time and never read Death Note, never watched an anime, I'm not even going to give you the main character's name, because I think featuring that here is too much of a spoiler. I want you to experience that for your first time. But let's actually talk about the actual special all-in-one edition itself. Is it worth the $35 it's currently being sold at? Will it actually hold up? Well, let's first of all take it out of the case. As you guys will see, it is humongous. It is huge, guys. Let's take a quick closer look right here. 2,000 plus page. It is going to be a long read for you guys, but it's well worth it. And one of the biggest complaints I saw with people talking about this before it came out was, is it going to hold up? Well, that's what I'm going to be talking about most today, the durability of this edition. And before we start about the book itself, let's talk about the case. So my special sleeve right here, that's all silver, when it first came in the mail, it did come with a slight little dent right here, as you guys will see, just a little edge, but it didn't take away from my enjoyment in it. It still worked fine and still protected. As you will know, it's been beaten up a lot, but all this beaten up is because of me and the conditions I've been reading this book in. I'm probably one of the people that's going to be reading this in a very tough condition, and I haven't been reading this like at home every single day. I've been reading this out and about when I'm going to work, and the situations where I'm on break, it's in a situation where it's like there's concrete, dirt, I'm putting it on metal, I'm putting it down in a very rough condition, I'm laying it flat on a concrete grate or a metal stairs. I'm putting it places that you wouldn't normally put a book, but because I want to read this every single time I have a little break, and I brought it with me out and about. And with that being said, even the book itself I've been very happy. I've had to drop it sometimes. I had to go and do something really quickly, but the book has held up. And amazingly, one of the biggest things you'll see is this. Like, oh my God, it's gonna rip out. But no, guys, I've read the book like this. I've read it with one hand like this, and the book has held up. And I'm willing to do this to you right now because I bought 3 copies of this. And this is why I could say this book is durable. It's just not my experience. I bought a copy for myself. I bought a copy for my best friend. I bought a copy for my other really good friend as well. They're all big Death Note fans, and they've never read the manga, and I thought it was about time I get them one. And all of them have said the same exact thing. Their books are way more better conditioned than me because they're just reading it at home. They're not reading it in situations where they're going to be dropping it, or situations where it's going to be manhandled, or situations where they're not going to be able to put it on a table. Most of the time I was reading, I was like this one hand and just constantly turning through pages. But they're reading it just normal, like a normal book would be on the table, and they're having a good experience. So the binding is holding up, everything looking good. And I've read it front to back like this, and they've read it too, and they said it's been holding up. The problems you might run into is maybe putting it back inside the holding. Let's say if you're putting it back this way, right? Which is the way you're supposed to be doing it. You might get a little situation where you try to get it in there and you might catch a page out, and then somewhere like this, where the front page will get a little bent. But that's me rushing in the situations that I've been in. My friends said that it's happened to them, but theirs are not that bad, bent up like mine, because they're a little bit more careful. But once again, this is me being me, and I just want to get through it. I'm here for the content. I'm not trying to keep this as a collector's edition. If you want to do that, that's fine. In fact, now that I'm done with this, I'm actually going to give this to my niece, because when my niece saw this, she said, oh my God, I'm a big Death Note fan too. And I was like, oh man, if I knew you liked Death Note, I would have bought you one. But I'm going to give her this, so now that while she's going to college, she takes a bus and 2 trains to get to college. So she has a lot of time for public transportation. So she could have a good time reading this on her commute to college. So I know she's going to really have a good time enjoying this. So now I'm just going to pass this on to her so she can enjoy the Death Note manga itself, because she's never experienced that. And this is what I'm saying. For somebody who's watched Death Note and love the manga, love the anime, I mean, and it was my second favorite. This enhanced my Death Note experience so much. It's phenomenally better than the movie. It's like, there was time I'm reading this, I'm like, God, like the artist, the story, like, they are amazing. Like the dialogue, like how did they come up with the story? It's one of the best stories ever in anime, maybe even in media. And I love it. And I hate that Hollywood has been messing it up over the years with some of the live action, even some of the Japanese versions. But I could highly recommend it, guys. Now, I'm sure some of you guys want to talk about how does actually the pages themselves feel. So let's just take a quick look inside of the anime stuff. So it's all black and white, which is fine. There's nothing, you don't need to have color or anything like that. The pages are kind of thin, so at certain angles, if there's a lot of light, you could see a little bleed through. What I mean by bleed through, sometimes you could see what's on the back page. So let's say if you're reading, let's go to another page. Let's go to a page right here. Let's say you're reading this page right here. You actually can see a little bit of bleed through to the other page if the light condition is right. But most of the time, it's not hard to read at all. If you're used to reading mangas online or in person, you'll be able to use this. If you're used to reading comic books or anything like that, you'll be perfectly fine. I just think it's so cool. Only thing is, if you've never read a manga before, just remember in Japan, the direction that they read, if you're in the United States, it's going to be from this way. So you're going to be reading in this direction. That's how the book is actually started, because you start here and you turn it this way, you go from there and you keep going all throughout. That's how it goes, guys. So really want to recommend this, guys. It was an amazing buy. It's on sale right now on Amazon. If you want to pick it up, I'll have a link in the description so you guys can buy it through Amazon. I am an Amazon affiliate, so I will get a small cut if you guys buy it through my link. If you don't want to, that's fine as well. I'm always open about let you guys know that stuff. I'm recommending this because I'm a Death Note fan and I like it and it's great. If I don't like the product, I'm not going to recommend you guys buy it. I just think this is awesome. This is one of the best buys I've bought this month, this year. Like this month, definitely. Even I like this more than Mario and Rabbids. I like this more than any video game I've bought in the last month. I like this more than Uncharted Lost Legacy. I like this more than Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battles. I love this. Like it's something when you enjoy something so well, it just needs to be shared. And that's what I want to share with my video today. The passion, the joy that this book brought me. And I mean, 2,000 something plus pages. You're going to have a time of your life reading this. I'm not going to recommend you guys sit there and binge read it in one whole go. But if you have a time on your break while you're out and about, it's a great little thing to bring with you. You're just going to have to get used to actually reading it with the weight. That's one of the biggest downfalls. This thing is heavy. Remember, this is the whole entire Death Note series in one book. It is heavy. Just be noted on that. If you're small hands or don't like to hold heavy things in one hand, well, it might be a problem for you. But overall, I'm going to recommend the Death Note All-in-One collection today. This has been Biki here with the Untitled Game Show. Let me know if you guys are Death Note fans in the comment section below. If you're not Death Note fans, have I convinced you at least to go check out the anime? Read up online why people like Death Note? I hope I have. If nothing else, even if you're not going to buy this, I really hope I've convinced somebody who has never experienced Death Note before to take a moment, watch even one episode of the anime, or try to find... You can read the first chapter of the manga free online on the Viz Media, the official place for the manga. Viz, you can read the first chapter of Death Note completely free online. So if you want some way to get an idea of what the story is about and you never experienced Death Note before, go there, read the first chapter for free, and see if the story might be for you. And I really think it might be. And then this is the last little thing. Telltale, can you work with Viz? Can you work with them and get like a Telltale Death Note, like some type of series going? I don't know. New character. I would love for that to be a possibility. If there's one freaking IP I would love for Telltale to get their hands on, it would be Death Note. I'm a big fan of some of the the Telltale games, and I'm a big Death Note fan, and I would love a video game that does Death Note right, and it has to be a story-based game, kind of like how the Telltale games are. Enough ranting about my love for this book and this series. Go check it out if you want. I'm out here, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, peace the heck out.